Boy, oh boy, this is your lucky day. This is my annual New Year's resolution video. And what I'm going to do is review my resolutions for 2023 and then tell everybody what my planned resolutions for 2024 are. It's a snowy, chilly Saturday morning here in Carbondale, Pennsylvania. It's -2 degrees, and this is the first time it's snowed since I've been here. We're 2 days before the beginning of 2024, and I'm thinking that this video is going to be substantially shorter than a lot of my recent ones, because frankly, I don't make a lot of New Year's resolutions, and I don't see that 2024 should be any different. So let's get started. For 2023, I had 2 resolutions. The first was to travel to some places that I had never been before. So I'm going to check that one off and call it a success. If you looked at my videos from earlier in the year, then you know that I had a trip into South America, stopping in Ecuador, Argentina, and Uruguay. And I had a Southern tour, which is what I called it. I had a Southern tour debrief video, which you can watch up there at the top of the screen. The second resolution I had was to cut down on the weight of my luggage. When I returned from Asia in 2022, I had a bag that weighed 23 kilos. It was just way too heavy. And as I mentioned in a video about that debrief, there were a lot of things in that bag that I never touched on the entire 6-month trip. So for 2023, one of my main goals was to cut down on the amount of luggage that I bring. Or not the amount, but the weight of the luggage that I bring. And I'm happy to report that in the Southern tour, South American tour, I cut my luggage down from 23 kilos to only 11. I am quite happy about that, because getting it down to 11 was a challenge, because at the time of year when I went to South America, it was fall going into the winter, because they're on the other side of the planet, or on the underside of the planet, maybe I should say. It was winter when I was there, and summer up here in Carbondale, Pennsylvania. Although as you look around now, you'd never know that. Anyway, I cut it down 11 kilos. I was very happy. So both resolutions, travel to different places, cut down on luggage, mission accomplished. So what do I have in store for 2024? Well, I have 3 resolutions. The first is I'm going to have an enhanced Asian tour this year. Now, lots of times when I go to Asia, I end up spending most of my time in Malaysia and sometimes in Thailand. I like Malaysia because I know a lot of people there. Plus, I speak the language a little bit, and I just like it. It's a nice place to be. I enjoy it. Thailand is the same way, although I have no idea what they're talking about. I know nothing about the Thai language. But those are the 2 places I usually end up going. So in 2024, my plan is to not skip those 2 countries. I'll probably be there at some point in both of them. But rather to try out new places that I've never been before. And that includes places like Cambodia, Laos, Manila in the Philippines, perhaps Dhaka in Bangladesh, and then of course I'm going to try to get to India and then wrap things up in Nepal. So the enhanced Asian tour, it's going to be a little bit longer, but it's going to include shorter stays in more places. The second resolution is I plan on climbing Mount Kinabalu in 2024. For you Asia watchers, you know that Mount Kinabalu is the highest peak in Southeast Asia. It's 4,100 meters, I think. You can look that up. It's in Sabah on the island of Borneo. It's a 2-day climb. You climb one day, spend the night at about 3/4 of the way up, and then the following morning early, usually around 2 o'clock in the morning, you climb to the summit, spend maybe a half an hour there, watch the sunrise, and then walk all the way back down to where you started at the bottom. So it's a 2-day trip at least. And I'm not exactly sure when that's going to occur, but I think Lady Aisha, who you may have remembered from other videos, she's the brains behind this operation, and she's setting it up for us. So that's resolution number 2, climb Mount Kinabalu. And I'm sure there'll be a video or two about that when we do it. My third resolution has to do with a video I made a few weeks ago called The Digital Singularity. As I mentioned in that video, I'm trying to cut down on all the excess applications and programs that I use on my computer to keep track of the digital life. At the time I was talking about Evernote, and I've almost completely eliminated Evernote from my life. And I'm now using Apple Notes. And when I started, that was my only goal. I was just trying to get rid of Evernote. But as I did that, I realized that there were a lot of applications that are included as part of the Mac OS system that I can use to replace other things that I normally depend on third-party apps to take care of. So in 2024, I'm trying to achieve the digital singularity of getting down to as few apps as possible so that I'm not putting things in various areas where I have to go looking for them when I need them. And I'm going to have a complete video on that sometime later during 2024. That's called the digital singularity. I don't know why I came up with that name, but that's it. I had to stop into the supermarket and get some AAA batteries. I mean, who buys batteries nowadays? Anyway, we have a smart TV at my house, but it's not really as smart as a lot of people think. It needs a lot of remedial work. And for some of the controls to work, it's one of those TVs that have like 10 remotes where you always have to look around and see which remote you're supposed to be using for which function. Anyway, one of the remotes doesn't have any batteries, so that's what I'm doing. Coming up, I will have a debrief of my Asian tour, probably in the next video. So if you're interested in travel and the nuts and bolts that go into various travel destinations, then be sure not to miss the next video. Until then, be seeing you.